Assalamu alaikum, dear students, and very good morning to all of you. Here today we are learning class 9 science biology. In that, we are doing the solution for the question bank. The question bank which you people have already within you. Okay, so we are doing the solution, and in solution, we are also doing multiple choice questions. We had completed 12 multiple choice questions in our previous video, and today we are working on it with the further solutions of multiple choice questions. So let's begin with, dear students. Okay, the 13th question of our question bank is that long, these are the characteristics of one of the tissue. Which are the characteristics? First, the tissue should be dead. Long and narrow cells in plants belongs to which of the following tissue? And four options are given to you, dear students. So you have to recall over here into your mind all the characteristics of the given tissues in the option. For example, first we are taking parenchyma, right? So in parenchyma, what are the characteristics, dear students? If you remember that parenchyma cells have very much large space, means parenchyma tissue is very large tissue. Here the option is given narrow, so definitely parenchyma will not be the option of this question. Then come to the collenchyma, right? Collenchyma also have some very less intercellular spaces, so definitely collenchyma will also not be the answer of this question. Come to the phloem. Phloem is a type of complex permanent tissue, so definitely it is not the answer of the question. So remaining what's sclerenchyma. So the correct answer of this question is sclerenchyma. Let's discuss all this simple permanent tissue, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So you will get a better idea about that. Okay, so dear students, from this image you will get clear idea about all of these three simple permanent tissues: parenchyma tissue, collenchyma tissue and sclerenchyma tissue. You can see over here that the size of parenchymal tissue is very much large, means they are not narrow. And in our question, the condition should be that this cell should be narrow, and very first condition, that is dead. So we already know that parenchyma and collenchyma, this tissue are living tissue, whereas we have to find out the dead tissue. So which is dead tissue remaining over here? The dead tissue remaining over here is sclerenchyma. So definitely the answer is sclerenchyma. Also you can see over here, dear students, that the cell of sclerenchyma tissue is very much narrow, because no intercellular space is present, because the cell walls are very much thick due to the deposition of lignin. So I hope this answer is clear to your dear students, that if a tissue is asking about the dead, long and narrow cells, then the answer should be sclerenchyma tissue. Okay. Moving with our next question, question number 14. Husk of coconut. What do you mean by husk of coconut, dear student? Coconut, you all know what is coconut. Husk means outer covering of the coconut. So the question is, husk of coconut is made up with which of the following tissue? That which tissue makes the husk of coconut? Not only the husk of coconut, students, but the outer covering of many fruits. For example, outer covering of walnuts, outer covering of peanut, that all that outer covering. Here we are asking, here the question is about the husk of coconut. So let's see all the options. First is parenchyma. No, we know the function of parenchyma. What is the function of parenchyma, dear students? Recall it quickly. The function of parenchyma is to store food and to give support. If so, parenchyma is not the answer of our question. Then come to this sclerenchyma. Now only we had just seen over here, now only we just the seen over so over here in our previous question, that sclerenchyma is dead cell, right? So husk of coconut is also dead, outer covering of coconut is also dead. Okay, come to the collenchyma. What is the function of collenchyma? The function of collenchyma is to provides support. And if we come to the last option, xylem, that xylem provides transports water into the plant. So what will be the correct answer of this question? The correct answer of this question is sclerenchyma. Yes, dear students. Why sclerenchyma? Because sclerenchymal cells are dead cells, and husk of coconut is also made up with the dead cells. So the proper answer of this question, husk of coconut is made up with which tissue? Is made up with the sclerenchymal tissue. Remember, dear students, this is very important question and many times asked in examination. Okay, so this is the function of the sclerenchyma tissue, which gives you the proper idea about that why we had choose the option sclerenchyma, because as we had first told that this tissue, which tissue? Sclerenchymal tissue is composed of long, narrow and dead thick walled cells. Why? Because the lignin deposition is present, and this tissue, the means sclerenchymal tissue, provides hardness and strength to the parts of the plant like wall of walnut and husk of coconut. So I think this answer is clear to you now, dear students, that husk of coconut is made up with sclerenchymal tissue. Okay, moving with the next question, question number 15. Which of the following tissue helps in increasing thickness of the stem? Okay, read the question properly and try to understand the question properly, dear student. The question is, which of the following tissue helps in increasing the thickness of the stem? What do you mean by stem, dear students? That when one plant is attached with the soil, then you can say that this is the stem of the plant, right? So we can see that this stem is very much thick, it is very much wide. So we have to find out the option over here, that which tissue helps in increasing the stem of the plant, means makes that uh, plant stem wider. Okay, so come to the option. The first option is apical meristem. The one thing we know that all meristematic tissues are in the function of the for the growth of the plant. Yes, of course, but apical meristem is only used for the roots, tips and for the shoot tips. So apical meristem will not be the answer of this question. Then come to the lateral meristem. Yes, lateral meristem is the answer of our question, because lateral meristem is present on the sides. Lateral means sides, at the side of the plant. So definitely lateral meristem will increase, it will help in increasing the thickness of the stem. The third is intercalary meristem. Already in our previous video, we had seen that intercalary meristem is present at the internodes of the leaves. So it will be not the answer. And collenchyma, that collenchyma only provides mechanical support. So collenchyma will not be the answer of our question. So the proper answer of our question is lateral meristem. How we can see? Okay, dear students, this image will give you a clear idea about the meristematic tissue. That meristematic tissue is of three types: apical meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue, and lateral meristematic tissue. Let's see the functions very quickly of all these three types of meristematic tissue. That apical meristematic tissue is present in the tips of shoot and present at the tips of root. So it gives you the longitudinal growth of the plant, means we can say the vertical growth of the plant. Coming to the next, intercalary meristematic tissue. That intercalary meristematic tissue is present at the nodes, from where the leaf starts, at the base of the leaf, at the internode. So it only increasing the two length of two internodes of the plant. And coming to the third type of lateral meristematic tissue, that lateral meristematic tissue is present at the side. You can see this red line over here. So with the help of this lateral meristematic tissue, the plant grows horizontally. Getting, dear students? So that is why we had choose the option lateral meristematic tissue, because it helps in increasing the wideness of the plant, or we can say wideness of the stem, or we can say thickness of the stem. Okay, coming to the question number 16, here we have the question is, which of the following tissue is a type of simple permanent tissue? Dear students, four options are given to you and you have to find out simple permanent tissue. Once again, recall that main plant tissue is divided into two types of tissues, that is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Then permanent tissue is further divided into two types, simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. So let's see all the options. Apical meristem is a type of meristematic tissue, so definitely it will not come into the simple permanent tissue. Xylem is a type of complex permanent tissue. Here we have to find out the simple permanent tissue, so it will not be the answer. Phloem is also type of complex permanent tissue, so it will not be the answer. So remaining what? Parenchyma. So that is the answer of our question, that is parenchyma is a type of simple permanent tissue. Okay. Okay, so let's see, dear students, you will get the clear idea about that. That permanent tissue, for once again, I want to tell you that plant tissue is mainly classified into meristematic tissue and permanent tissue, and this slide is the correct classification of the permanent tissue. So permanent tissue is divided into simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. It is called as complex because different cells are present in one tissue. And complex permanent tissue is of two types. One is xylem and second is phloem. And simple permanent tissue is of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So what is the option we have in our question? Parenchyma. So the correct answer of our question is parenchyma. Okay, moving with the next question. Question number 17, dear students. Which of the following tissue helps in bending of leaves and stem? Okay, what do you mean by bending, dear student? For example, so many times we have seen either a leaf or a stem, it should be bent, right? When the heavy wind occurs, or so at that time that particular portion of the plant or particular leaf is bending. So here we have to find out that which tissue helps in bending of leaves and stem. Okay, so let's see all the options. The first option is parenchyma. No, parenchyma will not be the answer because the function of parenchyma is to store food. Come to collenchyma. Collenchyma, the function of collenchyma is to provide mechanical support. Yes, of course, mechanical support, but also collenchyma with providing mechanical support, it also allows the bending of leaves and stem. Sclerenchyma, no, sclerenchyma cells are dead cells, so they will not, it will not be the answer. And xylem is a type of complex permanent tissue, so it will not be our answer. So the correct answer of our question is collenchyma. Okay, so see, dear students, you can see over here, this is the previous slide of our video when we were learning simple permanent tissue. At functions of collenchyma, the collenchyma is provides structural support like bones to the plant, and this cells allows easy bending in various parts of plant like leaf and stem, and also it allows easy bending in various parts of the plants. You can see over here, and that is our question, that which tissue helps in the bending of leaves and stem of the plant. So definitely the answer is collenchyma. Sorry, by mistake one. So and with collenchyma, not only it allows bending in various parts, but it also allows mechanical supports for for helping to the plant from heavy rains, high winds and other stresses. So I hope this option is also clear to you, dear students. Moving with our next question, question number 18, that which of the following tissue helps in transport of water in plants? Yes, this is very important uh, topic, we can say, dear students, as we need water. Yes, of course, all organisms on the earth needs water for their survival. We need water, so how we are taking the water? We are just drink it from our mouth and our body gets water. So here the question is, which tissue helps in transport of water in plants, because plants are also living things, so they also need water. So here come to the options. First is phloem. No, phloem will not be the answer because phloem transport food. Second is xylem. Let's talk about xylem afterward. First comes the meristematic tissue. The function of meristematic tissue is only the growing part, not to transport anything. So meristematic tissue will not be the answer. And collenchyma, no. Now just only we had seen two functions of collenchyma. So collenchyma does not transport water in plant. So remaining one, xylem. So correct answer of our question is xylem. We will discuss about xylem in detail in next slide. Okay. Moving with the next question, question number 19. Which of the following tissue helps in transport of food in plants? In our previous question, we had asked about the water in plants. Now, transport of food in plants. We all know that food is prepared in the leaves of the plant, but from that leaves, how the food is transported into the plant. Let's see all the options. First is xylem. Now only we had seen that xylem transport water. Collenchyma, no, it will not answer. Parenchyma, it stores the food, so it is not the answer of our question. So remaining phloem. So phloem is the correct answer of our question, that phloem transport food in plants. Now let's see about xylem and phloem in detail. Okay, so our first question, 18th question was there, that how which tissue helps in transport of water in plants. So first is here, how do plants get water? As in our homes, we have the motor over there with the electricity. We are using the groundwater we are taking up and stores in our home, and that store food we are using. Stored water we are using at our home, right? But how plants get water? The roots of the plants are sucking, absorbing water from the surrounding soil, and then gives transport to each and every part of the plant. But here the question is how, which kind of system is there? The system present in plants which help in transportation of water, that is xylem. And the word xylem comes from xylose, that means wood, that it is present in the woody part, that is why it is called as xylem. So getting, dear students, which tissue helps in transportation of water? Always remember that xylem helps in transportation of water in each and every part of the plant. Even surprisingly, you can see that this is one leaf. So in one leaf also there are different xylem tissues are present, which are providing or transporting water to each and every part of the leaf. Yes, dear students, it is a very good creativity of Almighty. And now, how do plants get food? That we can see now over here, that of course we are knowing this process, photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? That in the presence of sunlight, plants using carbon dioxide and water and making a starch carbohydrate as their food and release out oxygen. So this carbohydrate which they are making, that is the food of the plant. Yes, but how that food is transported to each and every part of the plant by the cells of the tissue, which is named as phloem. So when a 19th question comes, that which tissue helps in transportation of food, so answer of that question is phloem. So please remember, dear student, that xylem is helping in transportation of water, and phloem helping in the. And the last question of our question bank, that which of the following cells stores the food? Okay, these are the different cells are given to you, and this all the cells are phloem tissue cells. And here you have to find out that from these four cells, which cell stores the food. So we are thinking all the options. That first is sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem, that is companion cells. The third option is phloem parenchyma and the last option is phloem fibers. So the correct answer of this question is phloem parenchyma. Now let's see. Okay, first of all, we are briefly revise the functions of parenchyma cells. That what is the main function of parenchyma cells? The main function of parenchyma cells is to provide support to the plant and mainly stores food. Yes, the question is that only. The last question, that which cell stores the food. So now come to the phloem tissue. If we come to the phloem tissue, first is sieve tubes. That sieve tubes is only transporting food. Okay, companion cells are always attached with the sieve tubes and helping in transportation of food. Remaining what? This phloem parenchyma. Now only we had seen that parenchymal tissue, the function of parenchymal tissue is store the food. So that is why the answer of our question is phloem parenchyma. That phloem parenchyma stores the food. So I hope all the answers are now clear to you, dear students.